Hello everyone. Good morning in Europe. Good evening in United States. This is Ahura, and I'm so glad to see you again. Happy New Year. Hope you also had amazing holidays and New Year Eve with your families and spend the time very good. We haven't been here for almost 2 weeks because of New Year holidays and vacations. And now I'm back. So let's see what's happened in the first week. What actually this is going to be the first actual trading weeks. But I mean, the first weeks, as you know, the first week of year, most of the big players they're not in the market and they're not trading. Even if they are in the market, they're not trading. They're just watching to see what happened. Now we are in the first actual trading. In the second week of the year, we are in the first actual trading actually week. Last week we had NFP numbers. NFP numbers was kind of the mix. I mean, the week ended with some dots, while market participants they were waiting for 400,000 to create a job, new job or a new employed. The data showed just 199,000, so like a 200k employed, but unemployment rate fell to 3.9%. You know why? Because most of you guys, like me, you're working from home. You don't need to go to the job. So we are not counting as the unemployed people. That's the difference between the in the numbers. That's one of the reason actually. It's not the main reason, but it's not the all reason, but it's one of the main reason. Anyway, but still, market participant investors they had a very positive reaction. I think as you can see here, this is Monday. We started the U.S. dollar in a back foot, and after after the data we had this here. You can see after the data we had some weakness in U.S. dollar chart because some market participant they didn't look at some such a good news and a good data. It was a little bit negative for US dollar, but now we can see that it was welcomed by the investors, and with this starting of the new week, US dollar is getting back all its loss step by step. On the other hand, as I will mention in the next video, which is the weekly outlook video, will be uploaded in few hours when its editing is done. This week the focus will be on inflation numbers, which will be on a Wednesday and Thursday, CPI and PPI from both China and United States. And while the market is waiting for higher inflation in United States, it will put the US dollar in a demand against its rivers. So therefore, still for this week, we are waiting to see US dollar to increase a little bit more. So for US dollar, still we are positive, and we can see we probably will see the bulls in the chart again. In the Let's go one by one. So while this is happening and the market is waiting for about after I mean with the mentioned data and worries, as you saw on Friday, the stock market was a little bit weak. This is the SP 500 chart. You can see the Friday ended in a lower digits. Same thing happened for the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones, but they are coming back. Look, the data where it means let's look at the charts and the H4 time zone. It's gonna give us better idea on what is going on in the market. Now the market counting more and more on faster rate hike. The surveys shows more than 50% possibility of more than 50% of participants in analysts in the surveys they believe that the Federal Reserve will start rate hike in March. It was before. It was like I think the 55, more than 50%. I don't remember the exact number. Which before New Year it was about 40%. So before publishing the Federal Reserve meeting minutes, it was about 40% of analysts they were counting on the rate hike on March in March, but now after Federal Reserve rate hikes, after Federal Reserve meeting minutes, which published last week, and the FOMC members' speeches that we had last week, now the possibility of rate hike it's increased more than 50%. Therefore, That is also the reason. That is also another reason to see that we can have the faster rate hike. Therefore, in a short term, we can see that the stock markets will be a little bit under pressure. So this weakness that you can see here in the stock markets in the past days, it is because of that. But at the same time, it's not a bad news. Therefore, for example, SP 500 had a very strong support at 4,660, and under that we can go it's like under that we can go lower, but right now the strong support is here. In a short term, it is a little bit like negative news for the stock market, but however, it means also that this economy is strong enough to continue and keep its way without government support. Therefore, it's in general, it is a good news. So we probably can see a little bit more bears here, but weakness in the bears in a general. But some step by step, we have to wait to see again the bulls to start the way. But after it's a little bit weakness in the short term. For today, but since the week started a little bit in a positive mood for today, more probably because before a cash market opens, we will see a little bit positive mood in the market, but the cash market will be a little bit under pressure. Now, today, Japanese market is closed, so we don't usually. I'm using the Nikkei 225 to guess what is going on, what will probably happen in the U.S. market, because usually when the Nikkei 225 is a positive, let's see here we have it, but actually we have the Nikkei 225 the futures, but the cash market in Japan is oops, I don't have it here. Let's check it here. Yeah, should be somewhere here. Somewhere. Oops. Okay, I have to go and search it. Where is the my Nikkei 225? Anyway, what is going on here? I can say that usually, let's me find Nikkei 225. Usually, it's like that when the Nikkei 225 is positive. Usually, US stock market is also getting positive. So this is the Nikkei, and today the Nikkei was a little bit positive. So usually, so actually, as I told, today the Japanese market is closed, so the cash market also is closed. However, but the stock in futures market, the Nikkei also is increasing. In the rate, but the interesting point that we shouldn't forget about. Let's go back in the US dollar chart. Hello, where is my US dollar chart? Today, also another point that we shouldn't forget about is yeah is the rate. US 10 years bond yields increased to 1.70, almost 7%. Which it means again, the higher, the more concerns about the inflation, and the more we should take it more serious. The inflation concerns, inflation worries will be more serious, and we should be a little bit more careful about that. Which it means that, sorry, which it means that we should wait for a little bit higher numbers in the US dollar chart, but at the same time, the gold will be a little bit weak, and this is what we can see here in the chart, in the gold chart. Well, when the US bond yields is increasing, are increasing here, it means that it is a negative news for the gold. Increasing US dollar, the expectation for increasing US dollar and expectation for increasing bond yields, it means that the gold will be a little bit under pressure for today. About the oil market, let's go to the oil. Oil, last week we had a report from API and EIA. Both of them were about increasing US stock market stock loss or inventories that usually supposed to be negative for sorry, should supposed to be negative for oil market. But at the same time, also at the same time, we had the coronavirus numbers that increasing so rapidly. So far, we have more than 304 million, almost 305 million people infected all over the world. and more than 5,834,000, more than 5,834,000. We are dead. We have a dead people, dead case. So negative news, so bad news. Sorry for all the families that they lost the loved ones. Increasing faster increasing the COVID-19 cases, even if it's not as dangerous as the Delta, but it's increasing so fast, so that which it can put the healthcare sector a little bit more under pressure. It is not good for the stock markets in the first a little bit first, sorry, but more than everything, it's affect the oil market. So we had increasing inventory levels and increasing COVID-19 cases, which it means it should be under pressure oil market, but it was not. Why? As you know, the process Urals in Kazakhstan is one of the main oil producers in the world, with more than 1.3 million barrels per day. Is blocked. It's locked because of the. I mean, almost the half of the production is locked because of the rally, because of the protest rallies. So that was the reason to see the oil market again increase, and U.S. crude oil increased almost to $80. A little bit at the Friday when the Russians and other their allies army they entered to the Kazakhstan and they took the situation under control. Uh, that was just like a little bit more. I mean, some part of the production get back in the line. That was the reason to see a little bit weakness at the end of the Friday. On the other hand, we had a recount numbers, oil and gas recount numbers. Both of them, the oil and gas recount, both of them, again started to increasing, and it is to highest number since April 2020, 2020 actually. That means that more production from United States we are having a market. More production in United States also means that more pressure on the oil market because more supply. We have more supply. That was another reason to see the oil a little bit weaker in the last days. However, again, the week started and we can see that oil is still increasing after the Friday fall. The reason is that we have reports that some of OPEC plus countries they cannot produce as they supposed to be in their plan. For example, Kazakhstan, after even the recovery, still instead of 1.3 million barrels per day, supporting almost 800 barrels per day. So yeah, it's like 40% less than its capacity. And we had the same reports from other OPEC and OPEC Plus members, which it means that the production or supply level is less. Same as the reports that we had from Russia, that Russian supply they couldn't reach their still they have a far way to reach their supply pre-pandemic supply levels. Therefore, the supply problem in the market will put the oil a little bit more under pressure. Will lift the. I mean, will put the oil market under pressure, and it will lift the oil prices. So this is the overall and general market situation. We don't in the economic calendar. Let's go through the economic calendar. As I told, today is a holiday in Japan and economic calendar. We don't have that much important news. We just had a building approved approval numbers. The building approvals, in Australia. Yeah, building approvals in Australia for November it increased by 3.6% per month. 3 and 6 months bill auction we will have in United States and nothing else tomorrow as a very important day with the nomination hearing of Mr. Powell in the Senate. So to tomorrow and the next days. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching this video and hope it was useful for you. Don't forget to leave the comments. Let me know how was that video, what more you want me to cover in these videos. Thank you so much, guys, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.